Ruth Cockburn.
My name is Garth Williams.
This week we are working on a project called React.
Storyboarding.
In a sense, if we think of an image, like you've gone, oh, that's one image, well, then we'll have that and we'll put that on a post-it note and then we'll stick that somewhere and then we'll find a section that will go into the storyboard and then we can jiggle things around.
Right.
Did that make sense?
No.
No.
Sonya Moorhead, an artist, writer, theatre maker, came up with a story.
The Hare's Moon, it was what I suggested should be the starting point for React in response to the Royal Exchange's provocation.
We were trying to build a production, a small show that young people can explore the themes of leadership, of being peacemakers in their own communities.
She lived mainly on the hill by the lake. They lived on the hill by the lake. They were in control of the moon.
The rabbits gave us small and nimble.
Yes, we are small and nimble.
The hare were big and strong.
Yeah.
And sometimes simple. And sometimes simple.
Yeah. We don't know how we're the action's going to be, or oh look, we found a moon, without it being that.
Oh, no, that's true.
Yeah.
The moon is cast into the lake. There's all sorts of storms and terrible disaster, so that's going to affect everybody.
You'd quite like it in the sky again. That would be nice.
The show, it takes the form of an interactive story that the children are creating themselves, that hopefully by the end they come up with their own solutions to a problem that they've created.
The two tribes go to war, one is all that you can score.
We had Keri come in and talk about gaming principles.
What would probably happen is they would go into tribes, however you chose to do that, and they would have to feel some kind of loyalty to that tribe.
And by doing that, we're kind of dividing them and making their leaders slightly hypocritical, and then making them question and challenge their leaders, and in that way see what their part is in a democratic and sometimes really not democratic process.
We're getting into vote.
Yeah. Is what tribe you're in, is that something you decide, or is that something that you just born into?
I think that's what you're born into.
Sometimes in life you don't really get
You don't get choices with where you're born, do you?
Yeah. So there would be two different journeys because they would have two different stories, because they would be two different characters.
The rabbits are led by a magical queen, the hares by the strongest king you've ever seen, and so we find ourselves in our separate teams in fair Mancunia where we lay our scene.
We've a lot of lovely drawings and even little origami hares made by Daniel here, whose artwork is kind of central to the design if we were going to go to full production.
So you gave him a scar because he's the hare formerly known as Prince. And we also had Paul in to create some of the music and the sound.
Atmos. Does that mean played music or really acoustic?
Maybe acoustic.
And take on the role we'd given him of the kind of the wise owl who tries to encourage the two tribes of the hares and the rabbits to come to a peaceful resolution through debate, to bring them to the negotiating table as opposed to just to fight.
That's a bit bad. How are we going to resolve this, kids? How are we going to resolve this?
Yeah, what's a safe way for children to go into combat? You can do those jousting games, can't you? Like, that's like that chapter.
Oh, yeah.
You do that, that's volleyball behind your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a kind of safe combat.
Yes. So 3, hop up.
Yesterday we invited children in to see our sort of work in progress.
The kids are coming in. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, small people. We're in a space, aren't we? Yes, we are.
Can we make music?
So we have said what kind of animals live in the forest.
It was really good fun. We had some good feedback at the end of the sharing.
Did you think it was a good enough reason to fight?
No, you should have just dealt with it.
Should have dealt with it.
Yeah.
That's
You
good
should have just
advice.
talked about it.
It brought up what worked and what didn't work. They threw themselves into it very well.
You're a rabbit.
What are you?
You said get a hairy
He's
costume.
a tiger!
I said get a hair costume.
He's a tiger! He's a tiger!
So we're trying to integrate that into today as a final stage of this week.
Today we're sharing with the adults, with the other teams that are part of React. So there's 2 other teams that are doing the same project as us.
So then they're tugging.
Tug of war.
The issue there that you already set up that you're the sensible one and you're not.
The leading queen and king of the hares and rabbits are blown up into the sky with the moon, but it leaves them having to decide really at the end, what do they want to do now? As in, do they want to decide on new leaders? Do they want to decide on new processes? Do they want to carry on being at war? Do they want to find a way to problem solve?
I was going to say,